Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody. Go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan, all right? At Love HerbMan, all right? So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan, coming to you live from South Africa, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Please go tell somebody. Go tell somebody that your homie HerbMan is on. We're teaching you guys how to heal yourself, but you got to know thyself first. So here we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to the happiness, the wellness, and the wholeness that you deserve, okay? So that's what we do here, you guys. Is a free information station. You don't have to pay for nothing that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. Now, we are giving homage to the men and the brothers for this month. It is Men's Health Month. It is Father's Day month, all that type of stuff as well. So we making sure that we are bringing the pain when it comes to information about the brother's health, okay? No matter your skin color, as men, we need to get earlier health screenings, okay? And so we're talking about little topics today that could help men, but also help everybody in general be able to understand what's available to you without thinking that it costs you an arm and a leg. If you're willing to be taught how to heal yourself, because the thing about it, and I'm gonna start this thing out with this right here. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna start this thing out right here. And why the health assessment is very important is that you must understand that you can't fix what you don't know. You can't change what you can't observe. And observing ain't just watching it. Observing is understanding, decoding, being able to understand what actually is going on in the body or wherever else you got going on in your life. You got to be able to observe, but then also supply the remedy to the issue. And a lot of times what happens is that when the situation hit, we don't apply the remedy or the solution of polarity. We match the energy. Okay, and when you match the energy, sometimes that may not be the best way to resolve or to solve what it is that you're looking for in your life. So when we're talking about today is recovery time, but we're going to go a little deeper into understanding the importance of getting quality recovery time out of the life that you got. You ain't got to go change your life for this, that, and the third, but there are some things in your life you will have to change. You got to change your life? No, but there are some things in your life you got to change, okay? And so we want to make sure that we're able to get you to understand that you just need to know those things, work on those things, and then understand that your body already, look, herbs and medication can only support or help healing. Okay? Herbs, medication, okay? Anything else you want to put out there, vitamins and minerals, okay? These things only help support healing. They cannot activate it. They can't activate it, okay? So those are the things we want you to understand is, yes, we can know these things are available to us, but these things can't activate the healing. They can only support. So when you is inactivated, then you got to understand that these things are not what you think they are for you to keep running to. It's the education and how to activate it from what's naturally within. That's a far cheaper way for you to get this information and for you to apply it to your life, for it not to cost you your life in the end. Again, these things don't activate healing. They support and they help it after the fact. Okay, after the fact. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get there. Once we get to 1,000 likes, you guys, we'll get to the subject matter at hand. All right. But that's what we bring in, man. You know, that's what we always bring. We coming on this thing, man. Some power, some funk for you. Okay. Some power and some funk for your life. Please go tell somebody. They go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. So for the quality of this month, man, we're going to be having a 66% off sale. So during the live, you guys, if you're feeling like you want to get this health assessment, if you're feeling like you want to get this nature-based interventive health assessment, just to have it in your portfolio to say, okay, I got that part of it as well. Then we're doing that for 66% off in honor of Men's Health Month, okay? In honor of Men's Health Month. It doesn't mean that you got to be a man to get it. Anybody can get it. All we need is your birthday. You can get it if you're in Asia. You can get it if you're in Australia. You can get it wherever you're on the globe. It is a e-formatted, okay, health assessment based on your birthday. You get all your herbs, you get all your foods, you get all your nature-based interventions, you get all these types of things that you would just understand that you're reading a book about yourself. And then you start following yourself through life with this assessment as well. So it's a one-time fee, but you carry the information for the rest of your life. Okay? And we're doing that for 66% off the whole month, okay? The whole month of June, all right? So now that we at the 1,000 likes and we're kind of understanding exactly the topic today, what do you got to do in order to activate the healing, okay? Because you got to understand the importance of recovery time before you understand the importance of supplements, okay? Because if you understand the importance of recovery time, then now we're starting to get into how you activate self-healing, okay? So it's all about alignment with nature. Every human on the planet is going to receive the same 168 hours each week. But it's what you do within those hours. And when you look at the average week of a human, okay, you say 168 hours. Yeah, you get 168 hours a week, okay? So let's say you sleeping. Let's say you sleeping out of them, you sleeping 7 hours. We're going to give you 7 hours, okay? You sleeping 7 hours a day. Out of 7 days, that's 49 hours. Okay. So this is just basic information. They say we sleep between 6 to 8 hours. I just chose the middleman 7. Okay. So we sleeping about 7 hours, getting about 49 hours per week out of 168 hour week. Okay. So now that puts you at about between 50 and 55%. Let's just say. Okay. So that puts you at 50 to 55% of the time you're sleeping. But when you are sick, Somebody put when you are sick in the chat, please. I just want to make sure you guys are following me, because when I say this right here, you can go on and go about your business. But remember, if you did miss this, this is going to be uploaded on YouTube as well. But once I say this, the video is over with, okay? So I'm just going ahead and getting y'all prepared for it. But when you are sick, if you're running around here, now some of us are running lower. We know some of us are running around 4-5 out. Okay? We know some of us. When you start getting around here, obviously you're going to be below. Okay? But when you are sick, I need a little bit more out of you, and I need about 62.3%. I know exactly how much. Okay? I need a little bit more utilage of the time resting, approximately 60% or more, when you are sick. This is also fundamental to herbs, medications, meditation, sound bowl, Reiki, whatever issue you're trying to do, you have to understand how to heighten the rest and recovery time. Okay? You can't be on your normal when you're not normal. You can't be on your normal when you're not feeling normal. So then you got to understand, okay, I need fuel, I need gas, I need nutrients, energy, I need rest and recovery. I need all of that in order for me to be healed. But nobody has ever really showed you that, okay, I might be, even if I'm down at 40 to 50, we're going to need a little bit more at you. If you at 55, we're going to need a little bit more. I'm going to need you to rest a little bit more when it comes to trying to get over anything. When it comes to mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health issues. All right? Everybody understand that? Put some ones in the chat if you follow that. Okay? Okay? Now, the reason why I say that that's 55% is because I know some of y'all didn't ask that, but I'm going to show you that. 168 hours, right? 84 is going to be day. And 84 is going to be night. Out of 168 hours a week, 84, you're going to give me 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night, or somewhere around there, right? 50 hours out of 84 is about 50-something%. Okay? Now, when you get down to the whole shebang of 168 hours, then you're only looking at 29-30%. Approximately about 29.45, 29.5, something like that. We ran it up to 30, right? But at the end of the day, out of the whole time, you're at 30%. But just give me your night hours. You're at 50% night hours. This number right here is where you would really need to be in order to recover and activate your recovery time. Whether you do it out of the nighttime or whether you give me 62 hours out of the 62% of the 168, it really don't matter. This is the number you need to be. This is also the number of hours that babies sleep. This is also the number of hours that they'll sleep from infantry all the way up to 1 to 2 years old. They can sleep 60-something% of their day. Now, the reason why that's fundamentally important is because what is an infant doing while sleeping? Anybody know? What is an infant doing while sleeping? Does anybody know? Huh? Anybody know what an infant does while they're sleeping throughout the course of that time? Guap said dreaming. Shit, they don't know what they're dreaming about. They don't know English yet. But they do be dreaming. What it is, though, we don't know. Thank you, Ozendale. Ozendale City. Thank you, Ozendale City. Thank you, Auntie Rhonda's house. Okay. Thank you, Sheila Rose. So that means that there is some really good growth hormones, renewing of tissue, regeneration, resurrective power in that quality of sleep. For what? For growth and development. Well, why would I need growth and development for? If you're trying to renew or regenerate situations, kidneys, liver, y'all know what you got going on, right? So there's some regenerative power in that quality of sleep at this percentage or better that babies get, that I believe that you can get as well, alongside a proper diet, alongside proper herbs and all that type of stuff. But we fail to realize how much of this do we need? How much of this sleep do we need? How is this important to your healing? Sleep is the most fundamentally important thing to our brothers and our sisters on the planet. But because of our activated world, our stimulated environment, it is very tough to get this sleep because of the things that you have to. So this is not just about resting the body. This is also alluding to how we're able to shut things off in a matter of time so we can rest the mind. Okay? So now you're going to work for 40 hours. Right? So out of this 168 hours, you sleep 7. Right? Let's keep it moving. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to show you why you ain't got no time to recover. You just had an accident. You just got a diagnosis. You just got a situation happening to your life where it may be, it was very shocking, very disturbing, uncircumventable, some stuff that happened, things happen, okay, in our lives. But here's the thing, you don't have no time to recover from that relationship, from this or that. So you spent 7 hours sleeping, you spend 40 hours working. Now we know most of us go 50 to 55, but the reality for many is that it's at least between 40 and 55 hours, okay? Then wherever you living at, you got to drive down, okay? Or you got to catch the bus down. So that's another average 5 to 10 hours right there a week, just on the bus or driving your car to work and back, okay? So now you busting down hours. All you really got left here is about 30 to 60 hours left. Then you go home, you're going to do some household tasks. You got to clean, you got a maintenance, you got to shop, you got to all this type of stuff here. So that right there going to be an average of, let's just say, about 8 hours a week. Okay? Then you watching TV, you on your cell phone. I'm just trying to figure out where your recovery time at. You on your cell phone, you're doing all of that. So we do that. I get it about 20 hours a week, even though we know we do that more than that. Okay? About 20 hours a week. Okay? About 20 hours a week of screen time. Then you got boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife, whatever. You got to spend relationship time. That's about what? I give you 15 hours a week. Listen to what we're saying here. If you guys missed this video, it will be uploaded on YouTube. Then you got to have time for yourself, time for, just to get around and do your little thing, this, that, and the third. So, that may be another, I give you about 4 hours of that, okay? I give you 4 hours of me time, okay? Exercising and getting your business done, this, that, and the third, okay? Then your quiet and reflection time. Your quiet and reflection time, where's that? You're getting about 1 to 3 hours of chilling, reflection, stillness. So out of 168 hours that you get in a week, out of 168 hours that you get in a week, and you got to sleep, work, and commute, food, do this and do that, You don't used up almost 150 of these hours, which means that you got about what 15 to 20 hours left. So that means if you break that down, you only got about 2 hours a day of true discretionary time to yourself. So you don't get that recovery time to bounce back from tragedy, to bounce back from trauma, to bounce back from mistakes, to bounce back from disease, to bounce back from despair. The recovery time is bad, but it's not about how much time do I have. It's what am I doing during the time that I got. So when you're looking at nature and you're looking at the health assessments and you're wondering why the owner's manual is one of the best health assessments on the planet, if you're considering a nature-based interventive health assessment from a holistic practitioner, then yes, that's it. But the real thing about nature is it's not about your 168. Nature wants to know, out of your 168 hours that you're getting, how much are you spending in sunlight? Not the light bulb. Not your relationship with the light bulb, but your relationship with the sunlight. Out of 168 hours, how much was it spent on the LEDs? Amber lighting. Fluorescent. That's nature's question. And then how much did you give me? Nature's question is about, out of your 168 hours, how much of it did you use to breathe deeply? Come on, somebody. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up there. See, that's what nature want to know. How much unconditional air did you get? I know you riding around in your car, you got the AC on. I know you riding around, you doing your thing. You don't want nobody to see you up under the tent. You go from there to your office building with artificial air as well, conditioned air. You go from there back to whoever place, whoever store, whoever shop. Then you go back to your home, which is also generated air conditioned. But the nature wanted to know how much of the time spent with unconditional air, where you could breathe deeply. How much was your time spent moving in nature? Not just sitting in the car, sitting in your desk. How much of your time was spent outside? Remember, you were made for outdoors. How much of your time was spent connected instead of on the cell phone? Kids playing the games. Connected. How much was your time spent restoring yourself? See, these are all attributes of nature. So in your 168 hours, when you leave my live, when you go tell somebody, they go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan, we want you to know that there's another script for you here as well. Okay, there's another script for you here, and it's scripted in the background. You can't see it, but it's there. There's a wheel in the middle of the wheel. Now, my thing to you is that, yes, you have a wheel for your life. You got programmed. You came in here with desires. That's cool. Nobody ain't even mad at that. That's the human condition. But what I'm just exposing to you is that you can plan out your life, or you can just live, and it'll still be on a plan. It's a wheel in the middle of a wheel. You can plan it, Or if you don't plan it, it'll still go by plan. It is still in rhythm, regardless of your out of rhythm. You just got to catch the rhythm again to get back on rhythm. So these times, these schedules, these things, it's not even about time more than it is about pattern. People talk about is time, reality, this, that, and the third. You look too deep into time, but time is not even the quality of that subject. It's more about patterns, right? Patterns that continue to happen that gives you an idea of something, whether you knew what time it is or not. Whether you had a watch to tell the time, you would still tell the time. So it's about patterns, time is. You will never know that noon is actually 12 o'clock. That's just what you put on it. But we do know it's hot as hell at noon, and then that may be where the highest sun is at. And so we'll call that high noon and put 12 on it, but you're still following the sun's path. So now your activation has to be fundamentally parallel to the understanding of the importance of sleep and the importance of resting the mind. That's why meditation is such a big conglomerate now, because people want to know, how do I rest my mind after these traumatic incidents or these dramatic incidents? Hell, I want to even know, right? But I've understood that that is the quality of what we're talking about, because you don't have to be asleep necessarily like you think to produce the medicine that is needed to change your health condition or your mental condition or your emotional condition. You produce the medicine within. But again, herbs, medications, and vitamins and minerals and all the other things that you will do, church, religion, everything else outside of you is only going to help support whatever you come up to understand. Look, I can't help you if you don't pay for your self-assessment. I can't help you if you don't come to me or know me or bump into me some kind of way. So it won't happen unless you do something, right? So then we understand that mechanism. That's a pattern. Things won't happen unless I do something. I got to wake up. Then when I wake up, I got more opportunities to deal with in the pattern. If I stay asleep, nothing's gonna happen. I ain't gonna do nothing because I didn't get up. But if I got up and if I'm walking around, I'm more privy to opportunity. So you're using the time wisely. And you're gonna get more benefits out of pure sunlight, unconditional air, moving outside, connecting to outside, and allowing outside to restore you. Now, what is the benefactor of outside? Now, when you come in, you're more relaxed. Nature can calm your nervous system faster than any other thing that you have. So, boom, you went out there from 8 to 10. Okay. So when do I go out there? I go out there from 8 to 10. Okay. From 8 to 10, I'm out there doing this stuff, and I might even eat out there if you want to. You can have breakfast outside. Okay. Right here, I'm gonna go back outside. And if I'm gonna eat something here, this can be breakfast or lunch, however you think about life. Breakfast or lunch here, or breakfast here, or lunch here, right? But breakfast or lunch here, I call it the water break. But whatever I do, I'm gonna do it outside. I caught me another 2 hours outside. Now, when I come back in from 10 to 12, I'm a nap. I'm a nap from 10 to 12. Wake up, eat. Go back, nap from 2 to 4. Okay? Back out, my last time, for another 2 hours. So I did 6 hours outside. This is if you sick. I did 6 hours outside. Remember that you get 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night. So you spent half of the day outside. You can be taking herbs, you can be taking medications, you can be taking this, but this is why freaking retreats work. You guys, this is why retreats work, okay? This is why retreats work. But you got to learn how to do it. If you can't retreat to South Africa, you got to still learn how to retreat, because it'll still come to your neighborhood. I mean, if you can't get to me, you got to get the information to yourself. For the whole month, 66% off of these health assessments to show you how to do this, okay? So then, boom. So now I spent 6 hours outside. How much sleep did I get throughout the day? Anybody know? Now, the thing about it is your life can't let you do this, but we're going to show you why. And why it's important to know this information is not for the simple fact that it's going to be easy, but it's the simple fact that it's the trajectory that we need to go in as a society. We have to have a landscape and an environment that is conducive to incubating the healthiest humans on the planet. We have to start choosing healthier options. What are those options? Well, we can't be all over the place when you're coming into holistic awareness. But did you not know that holistic awareness has a system? And that system is the 4-element healing system, and is what we call the owner's manual. Okay? So you ain't got to be scared to come over here like we just throwing stuff in mid-out. Okay? We're not scared to do that. So how many hours did you nap? I didn't see. How many hours did you nap through the day? Did anybody see that? The nap time. What's happening? Did anybody see that nap time right there, right? So I napped 4 hours during the day. So if I nap 4 hours during the day and I sleep them 7 hours, or I sleep them 8 hours during the night, guess what? I'm at the threshold I need to be in to activate recovery. If I took 2-hour naps and was outside for 6 hours and take 2-hour naps in that day, and then come right back and then come with the 7 to 8 hours I'm used to, you're gonna land around this number. Because 62 hours is about, 14 hours a day. 62% is about 14 hours a day you got of rest and recovery. This is not all sleep. 62.3 is about roughly 14 hours a day, something like that. Okay? So with that being said, if you did 4 hours here and 8 hours there, you're around that 12. Matter of fact, I think it is 12. It should be about 12 hours a day. No, it's around 12 or 13. It should be like 12 or 13 hours, 62%. Yep, should be around about 12 or 13 hours, 62%. So if I take 4 hours a day for nap, 6 hours a day for day, take my medications, take my herbs, do the things that I need to do, and you're not doing a whole lot. We didn't ask you to do no jumping jacks. We didn't ask you to do no this, that, and the third. So that means that you can wheel your patients out. Wheel your patients out in a wheelchair. Wheel the patients out in their bed. It doesn't really matter. If they can move, then move them. If they're movable, then let's move them and get them a little bit of this as well, and watch the recovery time speed up. Okay? This has to be fundamental to the practice, or this has to be fundamental to you understanding how to heal yourself. When you get sick, you got to ante up on the rest. You can't go down. You can't go down because you're worried, or anxiety, or depression, or woe is me, and pity, and I get it. But you start going down to 4-5 hours of sleep now because you're worrying yourself to death. You researching all night about how to cure this and cure that, and you're doing this and that, but you're wearing yourself out. Then you go jump right back up out of there and actually go to work. Okay? And what I'm saying is, it not only does it deteriorate you a lot quicker, but it also makes it a lot longer for you to be able to recover in that type of mindset. So you want to be able to get that rest and recovery in the mind. So a lot of times when people hear what the physician gonna do, they can kind of ease their mind. Easing the mind is the resting of the mind. A lot of times when they go to church, the pastor may be able to find a way to get in there and ease their mind. The easing of the mind is the resting of the mind. And so now that person goes back, okay, they gonna sleep automatically, but that brain got to go shut off. And when you do that, it's almost a rest assuredness that sends a frequency and a signal that you're ready to repair and recover, and you have aligned your life in a way that you can get this quality of recovery. Now some of you guys get so sick y'all can't work, so then this is great for you. Some of you guys are retired and done got sick, and so you don't have to work. Well, then this is something that you would need in order to understand how to go about your day. Again, medications, herbs, and vitamins and mineral supplementation does not activate your healing. It does help support it, but when you need activation, them ain't the ones you need. And you got to know the secret to activating. You 72, you 82, you better know how to sit down somewhere. Okay? You 32, you 42, you better know the value of not only a 1 week or 2 week vacation, but the value of a white flag and retreat. I don't want to do nothing but rest and recover. That's why fasting is such a good thing and stuff like that. And you involve it in different areas of your life. Fast from this, or fast from that, or fast from this, fast from that, or fast from all things. You know, so you just, but this is the type of life you're going to have to be able, or the type of time you're going to have to be able to offer yourself when dealing with deadly issues, okay? When dealing with issues that cannot be resolved and you've been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, we got to be able to come in and ease your mind about what it is that we can do and offer you and bring you some reciprocity. Once we get you to be able to relax the nervous system, once we get you back to a safe place, that sends that frequency, that sends that signals that this body is ready to recover. It switches over from digestion to healing, to regenerative properties, to the growth factors, to all that type of stuff. Just like back in the old days when you got sick, grandmama told you to rest. I got a little man right here right now, he's asleep. He's sick, he got to sleep. That's the best thing you can do. He ain't going to eat the cold away because he don't feel like eating. So he's sleeping away, he rested away. Okay? So that's the value of the rest and the recovery time. Any questions thus far, you guys? Y'all know I ain't going to stay long, but I definitely want to come on here strong, man. So understanding the rhythms of nature, adding this to your repertoire, adding this to your ideology, adding this to your life as a human, and understanding that each human gets that 168 hours. But your rhythm, your environment, your attention, your regulation determines what those hours are going to become. You don't find life's purpose in spare time. You reveal it through repeated things that you've allocated to time. That's going to be your purpose. So when we're looking at the value of our men, our brothers out there, you know, if you got value, which we all do, if you're looking at the value, then you'll understand if I keep you too busy, worried, okay, remember we told y'all circulation issues are the number one killers on the planet, no matter what country you're in, right? Heart disease. In this capitalistic infrastructure. It'll cause you to burn out. And the only real nemesis to burnout, in all honesty, is this subject, man. It's the value of rest and recovery on your mind and body. It's the only real nemesis to the burnout. You're going to burn out if you don't know how to value this. And what I'm saying to you is that the normal person spend most of the 168 hours on the burnout. Now you go through years and years of this, all right? Of not valuing the time until your time is up. And so the first programming that we want to look at is like no human enters empty. You know, every person comes in, they're going to absorb family values, they're going to absorb social expectations, they're going to absorb emotional rules and regulations, they're going to absorb the definitions of classism and success. And we're going to do that whether you realize it or not. We learn how to act, we learn how to work, we learn how to love, we learn how to survive, all through the program. But did your beliefs really come from truth or from adaptation? That's the fundamental question. And we're just trying to get you back to your original diagram. In your original diagram, you wasn't governed. In your original diagram, it wasn't government. Come on, somebody. I'm about to tell you something right now. You guys can please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Y'all can go look this up anywhere you want to on YouTube. It's going to be uploaded there as well. And we're looking at this as the chakras or the higher self, lower self concept. We must transition ourselves as a human species from one that needs government or to be governed to one that practices commandment. Right? When you can practice commandment, you wouldn't need government. Okay? When you can command the mind, then you don't need nobody to govern your mind. So this is a transition state of where the human species is. Right now, we're in this thing where the mind needs to be governed. So again, this is where you get the dramas and the traumas, and you get the programming and the rules and the regulations and the laws come from you needing to be governed. So this is the modern world operating system, where you get rewarded for speed and urgency and visibility and productivity and stimulation. Yeah, you get big money and you're on your way to burnout. And the message that we're giving our children is that you got to be moving the fastest, producing more, and don't worry about resting yet. Oh, but it's going to come a time where rest is going to get valuable in your time of need. And the real question is, no matter how fast you've been moving, has your speed created peace? Do you got more peace? Because what I heard is more money, more problem. Because if you keep moving the goal, when do you ever arrive? When do you ever rest? They say he rested on the 7th day. You get 1 million, you want 10. You get 10 million, you want 100. You get 100 million, you want to be a billionaire. If you ain't gonna never rest, man, you never gonna chill. If you got one woman, you want 2. If you got one man, you want 4. If you got one pair of jeans, you want it. Your want and need for something, a goal, if it keeps moving, when will you ever arrive? And we're teaching so much efficiency before really being able to teach our people the wisdom that we should be teaching. And you got to understand that I value this because a lot of people don't teach nature. They teach herbs. But I teach nature, that language, that frequency. I'm out there enough. Trust and believe. And you ain't got to be in the woods. You just got to be outside. Nature teaches differently. But it's there. It's in the background. It's mama waiting on you. It's like, you gonna let me? When you gonna get on my song? I'm showing you patterns. This is all about love. Everything that we talked about is all about love. If you look at that 168, that 168 hours, 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 is the heart chakra. It represents the heart chakra. The time is love. When are we going to figure it out? The time is love. The time shown, the everyday, the patterns, the seasons, the timing, the cycles, the recovery, the patience. That's what nature is teaching. And look, money ain't going to come all the time. Trees don't bloom constantly. You see what I'm saying? Slow down a little bit. The rivers, they do their thing, but rivers don't rush. And just because it's winter don't mean that it's the bad part of the day of the season. So what if your current situation is requiring for you to restore? What if your current season is requiring restoration? How do you know? And if it is asking you for restoration right now, if you do believe that your current season is asking you is requiring restoration, financially, health-wise, relationship-wise, but what if your programming is only valuing production? You can't even compute or understand the value, have the time or the education or the wisdom enough to understand restoration has to be a part of production. Even if you work at the warehouse, somebody got to clean it up. It got to get shut down in order for it to be restored. Gas, something got to maintenance, man, got to fix chains on something. And we got to stop trying to force it. Nature does not reward force. It rewards timing. And the biggest thing about us is that we're not patient enough to be on nature's selective selection. We're not patient enough to be on natural selection. But nature doesn't reward force. But it'll damn sure help you if you're on time, right? It rewards timing. So this alignment thing that we keep teaching is very valuable to the health of your consciousness, but not only that, the health of your bodies and minds. You keep talking about being tired, but it could just be a thing of being misaligned. I know every time I get frustrated, I might break out with something. This changes everything. And I'm telling you, this burnout thing is inevitable if you can't find the ability to learn how to schedule your day out, especially when you're sick. If you don't have to work, this should be how your day look, just to keep you growing and developing. Are you burned out from effort? Or are you burned out from living against your nature? That's a question. That's a true question. Are you burned out from effort? Or are you just living against your true nature? And when you're constantly exhausted, numb, you're constantly overthinking, you're constantly feeling disconnected, you got achievements, but you don't feel fulfilled, that could be a sign that you're misaligned. And one of the cool things that I realize is that a lot of times the body can speak to us before your mind actually understands what's going on. But with our health assessment and with what we call the nature's language, the owner's manual, understanding that lingo of man and nature and that intricate relationship, this incubation of life being a love offering, then we understand that nature is going to communicate through these means more than anything else, through light and temperature, rhythm and seasons and movement. We know that we operate in those ways with rhythms. So if I'm spinning and she's spinning, then let's spin together. And let's make music, universe. But you got to know when to rest. You got to know when to move. You also got to know when to restore. You got to know what rhythms you have to abandon. You got to know what rhythms you have to absorb. Nature is never going to force identity on you. You could be whatever you want to be, however you want to be. But it will reveal to you your true nature. It ain't going to judge you for being wild, but it's going to show you that you are wild. That's what nature going to do. Show you your true nature. Anybody want to know that? See, that's what nature going to do. It'll show you your true nature. So many things I didn't know I could do until you do it, because nature will show you your true nature. Okay? But the other question from the human standpoint is, what would this be without conditioning? What would I be? Who would I be without the program? That's the human factor. I understand you're talking HerbMan, but who would I be without this condition, without this program? Without no status, without no fear, without no expectations, how does that life look? If I ask you that, what naturally appears in your mind? Is that I think that on so many levels? Yes, sir. See, if you didn't know nothing about teaching, would you teach? If you didn't know nothing about building, would you build? Meaning that if you didn't know it was called construction, if you didn't know it was called traveling, would you still try? If you didn't, what would you do naturally? Heal, would you rest? Because for you to really know, I'm going to tell you something. Your tendencies, you guys, your tendencies will often appear as soon as the pressure disappears. And what we got to stop thinking is that this purpose is this destination. Purpose is not one job, is not one role, is not one achievement. But what if I told you that purpose is balance? And it's balance in movement with nature. It's alignment. It's not feeling yourself. It's just removing what you really are not. And if you keep staying in repeated alignment, you can birth purpose out of that as well. So you can find purpose within this health assessment. 66% off. That's $25. And yes, it's worth way more. But it's all about the world that you create. And once we start to help you, help yourself. Once awareness begins, you can start designing the conditions for your own life. But when we started creating these routines and these environments and these relationships and these attention spans and beliefs, man, you ain't got no time. You done created your old busy world. So you got to understand that in your world, you still need time to create. You still need to get an environment that is going to be conducive of you being able to get the most impact out of it, right? If anybody ever gave me, how can I get the most out of this life? How can I be my smartest? How can I be my most alert? How can I be my most restful? How can I be my most healthiest all at one time? And it's paying attention to outside more than you paying attention to people talking to you. And if you can start to really look at the scheduling of outside of your environment, just wherever you are, start paying more attention to the day, not by the clock, not by the clock on the wall. Pay attention to the day by how you feeling and about what you're seeing outside. This is the Earth's invitation. Earth ain't gonna say, become someone else. Earth is gonna tell you to become integrated. Okay? Earth's gonna tell you to grow. Earth is gonna tell you to release, to rest, to return, to repeat, to reflect, to resist even sometimes. Life is going to become easier when we stop dealing and competing with our own timing. We're going against our own timing because we don't know the value of health astrology. This ain't about love. This ain't about finances. This is about health astrology. And you can't be healthy looking for money. And I mean, why would we want to give mentally ill people richness? Okay, we don't want to do that. Why we want to give mentally ill people love? I mean, you ain't gonna do nothing but hurt somebody. So the value of it in totality is what you get. Then you can start creating the conditions. When you start seeing yourself in true nature form. Okay. So I'm gonna get up out of here, you guys, but I just want to say this in closing. I appreciate all y'all love, man. Please go get your brothers and sisters and uncles and cousins and mamas and whoever else, aunties that you know, they health assessment, all right? And we got a lot of them come through the pipeline because this is for 66% off, but we're trying to push them out as quickly as possible. Again, this is all month long, you guys, so don't hesitate. Don't wait till the last minute and get your people what they need, all right? Look, you guys, you may not choose where you started, okay? Nobody does. But you can choose how your life continues, okay? The world may not teach you how to function. It may not be the job. But I'm telling you, Earth, that's different from your world. Earth invites you. It invites you to remember how to live. And sometimes you can't find that in the books. Sometimes it ain't on the radio station. Sometimes you can't find it in the cell phone. Sometimes you can't look it up on Google. Sometimes the pastor just ain't saying it. Sometimes you just can't get it from the job. So when you're looking at and forgot your way, I'm telling you to go outside. You don't need to abandon society. It may just mean simply that you just need to get back on rhythm. More time to think, more awareness, more alignment, a retreat. Stop confusing conditioning with identity. And we want you guys to start building your body, mind, and spirit. Come on, TikTok, don't do me like that. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions before we get up out of here? You guys will appreciate all of your mind's time. Anytime that you allow me to come in here and serve you on your health journey, it is much appreciated. I don't take this lightly. I value the ability to be able to speak to masses of people at one particular time. Again, it's been a great ride, man. We're going to continue to keep pushing it. This is my birthday month as well, so I definitely wanted to do something special in that particular way for my birthday month, man. So we're going to keep on rocking. We're going to keep on pushing out this information. Shouts out to my students out there, man. We appreciate all the love from the students, man. The students are learning. Class is blast. So we appreciate you guys for that, man. We'll continue to support you guys. I know people are getting their herbs out there. You're doing your thing now, man. We appreciate all of the herb purchases, man. We just appreciate the love, man. To be honest with you, man, we thank God for you. I always say this, man. I got this from an old radio guy in the ATL. What his name is, David Bowman or something like that. WAOK, Derek Bozeman. He said, look here, where I've been, you sunk me. So there's nothing that I could do without you. So it's not hard to love on your people. It's not hard to bring these prices down. It's not hard to make it affordable. It's not hard to get you the value. It's not hard for you to value yourself. It's not hard to push this information out. It's not hard to educate you because I love you that much, man. You understand what I'm saying? And you have given me every motherfucking thing I got to this point. So it's very easy to give back to your people, man. And that statement has no color barrier. Okay? That statement has no color barrier. All right. Anybody got any questions about the recovery time? 62.3%. It's going to be approximately about 12 hours. That's what you're going to really need to rest and recover. I showed you the diagrams of how to get that rest right throughout the day. Get your 8 hours of sleep at night. Sneak you about 4 hours of nap time in during the day. The rest of the time, you try to stay outside. Get you some indoor time. This person that's sick right here, dealing with cancer, diabetes, or whatever the case may be, they wanted to speedily recover. If they had a life that could give them this type of time, come on, man. It's easy. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. So we want to show you these types of things when you guys come on the retreats, wherever those retreats are going to be at. We want to show you the value of simple stuff. Like, hell no, all we did was eat this. He did some certain stuff out here in the sun. We went to some real good, drunk some real good water. We played in the dirt a little bit, did some little dirt baths. Went and then just was outside getting that good out. So on top of these little meals and these little herbs he sprinkled in here now with these little things and a retreat to give me enough recovery time where I could just be on the dial of nature again and not on the dial on my watch. And here we go. In 2-3 weeks, my cancer has went down tremendously, or it's disappeared, or this or that is gone, or this ailment has been relieved, or I don't feel this way anymore. And you don't have to have all of that stuff because the healing is in the recovery time. How to activate it is through rest and recovery. So when you guys are interested in these retreats, you guys let me know. My wife told y'all the other day, you can come, we can visit 4 different countries at one visit. Okay. Those 4 different countries will give us that type of exposure, right? We can go to the beach. We can go to the beaches of Mozambique, the mountains of Lesotho, or the mountains of what's the other place? Eswatini, right? Swaziland, right? So all of these countries provide this scenery of nature, provide this going back to nature, provides this fresh air and fresh sun. It provides this retreat where you're not thinking about the dial on the clock because you're dialed into nature. Add that to some little herbs because this is just supporting. Your body know how to heal itself. Y'all don't know how to activate it because you're trying to heal, and you're trying to heal and work at the same time. You're trying to heal you're activated, right? That diagnosis, you know how many brothers I know got high blood pressure driving trucks right now? Now, you don't even supposed to have high blood pressure driving trucks, so they get it down before the test. There was a brother I knew, his eyes were going bad because something going on in the school. He can't sue the school. He knows it's the school. Can't prove it's the school. Been teaching 30-some years. Eyes about to go bad. Still teaching. So we can't get your eyes good if you're going to go back in now. It's not being funny, but I want y'all to get this. You understand me? We can't get it right if you're going back to the thing that made it wrong. It's just a prolonging of time. You're wasting your money. And you've made a lot of billionaires and a lot of millionaires through your incompetence of yourself. So what we do here is HerbMan Inc. is try to make sure that we give you the finite of education services behind your own unique abilities. And that's the owner's manual for $25 this whole month, okay? So you guys want that, go tell somebody, they $25. They 66% off this month and this month alone. All right. Anybody else? If you didn't have any questions, man, we're gonna get up out of here. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all, man. I love you guys, man. Look, I love you. I love you. I love you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace, peace, peace. 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 Oh, somebody said, when is the next retreat? We're going to get it up. We just need, basically, we already got locations, okay, as far as an idea of things that we want to do in these locations. Obviously, we can pick a scenery, this, that, and the third. Now, it's a little winter time over here where I'm currently at, but it's still stuff that we can do. I mean, it's not winter as you think. But it is considered winter here. But it's all about when the people are ready, right? So what we like to do is get about 10 people. All right, we get about 10 people. You can have couples. You can bring your grandmama. You can whoever, however. But whoever comes, you'll get about 10 of you guys, and then we can bring y'all over. If you're looking at the pricing, okay, if you're concerned about pricing and all that type of stuff, please email us, and we'll give you the price on the retreats. I think it's between $3,000 to $4,000 per person, but that's going to depend on how long you're trying to stay. So I think that's $3,000 to $4,000 for a week at the retreat. Now that's just the week at the retreat. And then we can, we're going to take care of you with everything else as far as food and transportation, scenery and all that type of stuff. But this just for the retreat, but that's for a week. We recommend you guys do a 21-day stay. I need you for 3 weeks. Okay. And then when we do the 3 weeks, that's when you're going to get, the full aspect of Africa. We can take you because you got time. Then y'all gonna be here for 3 weeks. We can go to Lesotho and stay for a couple days, and then we can go here and stay for 3 days, and then you can go here and stay for 3 days, and then you can go here and stay for 3 days, and you'll still have some days. You see what I'm saying? But when you do a week, we got to kind of jump scotch you around a little bit and kind of get you some environment and stuff like that. So we don't want you to be rushed when you're supposed to rest. Okay. But we definitely gonna hold that tag around 3,000-4,000 per person for 1 week. But we need for you guys to stay at least 21 days. So the package is going to be for a 21-day stay. So it'll probably be a little bit under $10,000, okay, for a 21-day stay. That's per person. We can also strike a deal for you if you're trying to bring couples, okay? But outside of that, that's what we're doing, man. And again, we're in a good location to where you don't just have to see this one spot. You can say when I went to 4 African countries in one in one pit eye for 10 stacks, okay? All right, so that's how you look at it, you guys. That's how you want to be looking at it. If you guys got questions or concerns, my wife got her information on here. Y'all can email her. You can follow her page. You can get in contact with her for email. If not, you can email HerbMan Inc. Say, look, I'm interested in the retreat. Okay. The retreat is a lot like Alcoholic Anonymous. I did go to Alcoholic Anonymous when I was 19 years old in the United States Navy. So I know all these programs by default, okay? But I know these programs. I know how they should work. One of the cool things about me being in Japan and going to a alcoholic program was that it was totally nature. So I know how I should look. I know how I should feel. We was at a monastery, right? And so nuns, they come in, they wake you up, they feed you, and then they kick you up out of there. Y'all got to get y'all rested bus up out of here. And you spend most of your day for 30 days walking around the hill, up the temples, down through the valleys, looking at the lovely landscape and the rivers and the valleys. And you fall back in love with life, and next thing you know, you don't want to die, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, and that all happens just through the connection back with nature. We know how it looks, so we know this thing works, and we know how to work it. Okay, we know how to work it. All right, we know it works. We know how to work it, man. So I am proud of you guys, man. I love you, man. Again, there's absolutely nothing you guys can do about it. We're going to try to come back on tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is my school weekend, so you guys may not see me here on TikTok Saturday and Sundays. But look, the deal is still the deal, okay? I made a deal with a brother on here. I told him all month long, especially on my lives, this thing's going to be 66% off. So this is a great time. I know it ain't Christmas. I know it may not be like a big holiday to you, but Father's Day, Sunday, right? Getting that information, learning the path of the sun, showing your pops that there's another wheel behind the wheel. No, it might get mad at you, but there's another wheel behind the wheel. So I know the doctor's wheel is that they can't fix it. I know that the therapist's will is that they can't change it. I know that the judge's will is that you should be incarcerated for the rest of your life. But there's another wheel playing in the background, and we got to get you over to see what the judge say over there. And see, over there, it ain't no judgment. Over there is fair opportunity and fair trial for you to get back in the rhythm and get back in the balance. And so your time ain't never up until you give up, or until you lose the wisdom to know the truth about yourself. You can rebirth, you can resurrect, you can continue to self-correct, and you can continue to grow and develop. Just gotta know how. Peace. Yes, sir.